What did writing a college comic strip teach you about the power of brand storytelling?
I think of myself as a designer, I'm always trying to find solutions. And I think that for me, the story I was trying to manifest was that, I think from my perspective as a very naive college student, was that our world isn't perfect. And I think that a lot of students felt that way. And I created this comic strip called The Insane Carrot, and it was a carrot who lived in this vegetable universe. So every other character in the universe was a vegetable. And I would take issues of student life and I would put them on trial. I very early on could see a cause and effect relationship between the creation of art, putting it into a media form, and seeing an impact. And so I began to experiment with that, and we would put invites to parties in the comic strip. We would address student life issues at kind of a higher volume so that it would actually impact culture.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was very playful and very immature and, really sometimes time-consuming, actually, trying to come up with an idea and then execute it well and then get it in front of a large audience. It really builds a lot of learning around compromise, around prioritization. So you have to go to a history class, but your comic is due in 3 hours. So what do? You make your comic in history class, and your comic becomes about history class because that's the content that's... So multitasking, all these things become part of what you learn. But brand storytelling, as a concept, is extremely powerful. And getting people to align with your story and get them to believe your story and then act on your story, I think is something that's a lot of fun. And it takes time, and if you do it well, it becomes easy. It was another world. It was a world where everything that was frustrating was gone, which was kind of cool. I mean, at that kind of developing age, you're kind of figuring out who you are and figuring out, what life is about. And having an outlet like that was sort of powerful. And I could engage my friends on saying, hey, what should I write about today? What should I do? And then you write about it, and then your friends just get really excited. Like, oh, wow, you put me in your comic today. All these people are saying, hey, you're, so... and then also personifying your friends.
Yeah.
My friend, his nickname was Kinky, and we had Kinky the Coconut. We were breaking these rules, and then, it was just this other way of communicating. It was really, really fun.